Hello and welcome, collegiate football fans, to College Sports Check. This is the football channel, and here is the college football schedule for week number 5. And we're also going to go over the school rankings as well. So here we go. Note that all times are Eastern, since we are on the Eastern time zone. Thursday, September 29th, that'll be tomorrow. That's going to be Connecticut Huskies, and they're going to take on the Houston Cougars, 8 p.m. on ESPN. Then on Friday, it's the Stanford Cardinal taking on the Washington Huskies, 9 p.m. on ESPN as well. All right, this is the schedule for the top 25, and then Sundays we'll go out over all the scores. Here's what's going on for Saturday, and a bunch of good games on Saturday. Rutgers Scarlet Knights taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's going to be on the Big Ten Network. These are all 12 o'clock games right now, 7-0. Miami Hurricanes and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at 12 on ESPN2. Baylor Bears and the Iowa State Cyclones on FS1. Alcorn State Braves and the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's going to be on the SEC Network. Florida Gators and the Vanderbilt Commodores also on the SEC Network. And then the Texas Longhorns taking the Oklahoma State Cowboys. That game is on ABC. That's probably going to be a must-watch game. And I'm thinking Ohio State could take out Rutgers. So I'm going to have to say that. One other game for 12 o'clock. That's going to be Notre Dame and Syracuse, and that's going to be on NBC. Now we head on over to the 3:30 games. It's the Wisconsin Badgers taking on the Michigan Wolverines. Okay, that's going to be on ABC. Tennessee Volunteers and the Georgia Bulldogs on CBS. North Carolina and Florida State Tar Heels and the Seminoles on ESPN. Illinois and Nebraska on ESPN2. And those are the 3:30 games. One game for 4 o'clock, Texas A&M and South Carolina, the Aggies and the Gamecocks on SEC. Then at 5 o'clock, it's going to be Oklahoma and TCU, the Sooners and the Horned Frogs. And that game will be on Fox. Then one game at 6 o'clock. That's going to be the Utah Utes and the California Golden Bears on the Pac-12 network. And that brings us now to 7 o'clock. 2 games on tap for 7 o'clock on Saturday. And that's going to be the Kentucky Wildcats taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. It's going to be on ESPN. That should be interesting. And then the Memphis Tigers taking on the Ole Miss Rebels. That game is on ESPN2. And again, those 2 games on for 7 o'clock. Then at 7:30, it's Missouri and LSU. Tigers and the Tigers on the SEC Network. And that brings us to the 8 o'clock game. 3 games for 8 o'clock. It's the last 3 for Saturday. It's going to be the Louisville Cardinals and the Clemson Tigers on ABC. Michigan State Spartans and the Indiana Hoosiers on the Big Ten Network. And then at San Diego State Aztecs and the South Alabama Jaguars. And that game is going to be on ESPN News. Alright, so let's take a look at what's going on in the college rankings this week. Top 25. First through 7th place, no changes. Alabama still in first. Second place is Ohio State. Louisville still in third. Fourth is Michigan. Clemson in fifth. Houston in sixth. Stanford in seventh. Alabama 4-0. Ohio State 4-0. Louisville, Michigan, Clemson, Houston 4-0, and Stanford at 3-0. Now we got some jumpers and divers, but first let's go down the list and then we'll go over to jumpers and divers. It's the Wisconsin in 8th place, 9th is Texas A&M, Washington in 10th, 11th Tennessee, Florida State in 12th, 13th is going to be Baylor, Miami, Florida in 14th, Nebraska 15th, Ole Miss in 16th, 17th is Michigan State, 18th is Utah, San Diego State in 19th, Arkansas in 20th, 21st is TCU, Texas in 22nd, 23rd is Florida, Boise State in 24th, and 25th it's Georgia. Okay, now for the College Sports Check football jumpers and divers. Wisconsin climbed from 11th up to 8th place. Texas A&M from 10th to 9th. Washington dropped one, but here's a couple big ones here. Tennessee climbed from 14th up to 11th. Let's see, Baylor from 16th up to 13th. Florida State up 13th up to 12th. But here's a big one here, two right here. One, Nebraska climbed from 20th up to 15th. And Ole Miss, who last week was down in 23rd, climbed up to 16th. Ole Miss is 2-2. We should go over the records. We almost forgot. So Tennessee's 4-0, Florida State 3-1, Baylor 4-0, Miami, Florida 3-0, Nebraska 4-0. A big diver here would be Michigan State, which dropped from 8th down to 17th. They right now are 2-1. Utah climbs from 24th up to 18th. They're 4-0. San Diego State from 22nd up to 19th. Arkansas, man, from 17th down to 20th. Right now they're 3-1. TCU wasn't even in the top 25 last week. They were in 26th. They climbed up to 21st. They're right now at 3-1. Let's see. Florida State dropped from 19th. Not Florida State. Florida, the Gators dropped from 19th down to 23rd. Boise State climbed from 29th up to 24th. Boise State 3-0. And Georgia dropped from 12th down to 25th. They right now are at 3-1. One college team drops out this week, and that would be the LSU Tigers. Now, teams that are still receiving votes, here it is. It's Arizona State, Oklahoma, North Dakota State, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Colorado, North Carolina, Iowa, UCLA, Auburn, LSU, Western Michigan, Wake Forest, Memphis, Maryland, and Toledo. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to be back on Sunday with all the scores. College Sport Check basketball coming soon as I figure out, get the schedule. And I've been looking for a while and still nothing. Should be coming soon because the NBA is starting next week, right? Or the week after. So once we get the schedule going for college basketball, then we can go ahead with the College Sport Check basketball. And that's going to be the 2 wintertime shows right here at Community Radio. So thank you for tuning in. This is Manny Allegretta. This is College Sport Check. You can go to communityradioli.com and click on the College Sport Check button.